sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready. Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This will allow me to retort. Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. I'm on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to watch a broadcast, it's easy. Just go to shrmedia.com, click on the listen/watch live button. While you're there, join the chat, join the conversation. How's everybody doing? Now, I haven't been able to take a listen to him today or talk to him, but I know sackheads are in Las Vegas. That's dangerous. It's a Paris resort. They're there for Freedom Fest. They've been reporting on and off all day. It's Sackhead Sean, Sackhead Clint, and BZ, of course. They will be coming to you live in 2 hours. Basically, when my show wraps up, you'll get the Sackheads radio show. And if you haven't listened to them, by God, you better listen to them. They are funny as hell. Oh, let's see. Oh, I found a new way. When you are accused of a crime, just cry sexism and everything will be all fine. That should make the FBI run away or the police. Just cry sexism. That's all. You know, Bernie Sanders tried claiming it was political. Now Jane Sanders is saying that her allegations of bank fraud are because of sexism. Not because she falsified documents, because of sexism. I want to bang my head on a wall. Jane Sanders, the wife of Senator Bernie Sanders, has gone on the attack in the face of accusations that she committed bank fraud when she was the head of a small Vermont college, blasting accusation as an example of sexism. How dare they accuse me of falsifying records? They never accuse men of that, do they? Oh, yeah, they do. This identity politics that the left plays is now getting ridiculous. I mean, it was ridiculous. It just keeps piling on worse and worse every day. Ms. Sanders is under investigation by the FBI for a bank loan she applied for on behalf of Burlington College in 2010 as part of a land deal to expand the college. The FBI probe is said to focus on allegations that she overstated the amount of pledged donation she had to repay the loan. Senator Sanders also denied accusation that his office put pressure on bank officials to approve the loan. Yeah, I can't see a politician doing that, can you? To help the wife? Nah. No. Say it ain't so. Jane Sanders resigned from the position a year later, and the college closed its doors in 2016, in part due to the enormous debt it had incurred from the land deal. But in an interview with the Boston Globe, Sanders went after the man who filed the complaint. Brady Toesningsing, the vice chairman of the state Republican Party. I find it incredibly sexist that basically he's going after my husband by destroying my reputation, and that's not okay. Yeah, see, now, first it was partisan politics was at play. And then it's now sexism at play. It's fucking ridiculous anymore with these liberals. And she's innocent before guilty. I'll give her that. But it doesn't mean that these charges are because of sexism. This has nothing to do with politics. These charges and the investigation started under Obama. Wow, I bet people didn't realize that. This investigation started underneath Obama. Oh, shit, I don't have my SHR mug today. This gentleman, Brady is also a candidate for Vermont U.S. Attorney. Says that he believes there was less scrutiny of the Burlington College loan application because of who was submitting it. Ms. Sanders' privileged status as a wife of a powerful U.S. senator seems to have inoculated her from the robust underwriting that would have uncovered the apparent fraudulent donation claims she made, his complaint said. But Jane Sanders denies that there was any financial irregularity during her time as Burlington College president. If they just looked into public documents, they could see that his allegations of the financial difficulties during my tenure are not true at all, she told the Globe. However, Republicans seized on Sanders' cries of sexism and noted that Hillary Clinton's team considered attacking Senator Sanders over his wife's dealing. Jane Sanders must think Hillary Clinton's campaign was sexist for viewing the alleged bank fraud as a major issue, too. It's nothing more than excuses to try to get away with bad behavior. Now, there's already people that have come forward that said that donation amounts were overstated majorly and when those donations were going to be made. You know, that's where this fraud is being looked at. The Washington Post reported last week that the FBI probe has ramped up in recent weeks, with agents taking boxes of records from the college and calling a state official to provide evidence to a grand jury. That's it. Put it to a grand jury. Then go from there. If they indict her, then go to a jury and trial. Just play it out. You know, I mean, I love how they throw a lot of accusations around, but God forbid they get accused of something. You know, the shit hits the fan. That's what makes me laugh. Allergies. Never had allergies until this year. It's it has me sitting back and just, you know, could you imagine if one of us peons of America did that? We'd be laughed at. We would be laughed at so bad. And they're just doing it because they can grandstand. They have the ability to grandstand in front of a mic. And that's to try to sway public opinion. They grandstand in front of a mic, make all these accusations that, oh my God, they're only accusing me of this because of sexism. Well, I think you're being accused of it because there's a lot of questions about the finances. So Rosenstein, who's the Deputy Attorney General, Rod Rosenstein, an exclusive interview with Fox News, made clear he would not approve leaks like ex-FBI Director James Comey's release of personal notes on discussion with President Trump. Deputy Attorney General discussed the Comey controversy and the overall Russia probe led by Special Counsel Robert Mueller during the extensive interview set to air, aired this evening, and I think it was 2 hours roughly ago. And he had tough words when asked about Comey's recent admission that he used a friend at Columbia University to get a memo he penned on a discussion with Trump leaked to the New York Times. Quote, as a general proposition, you have to understand the Department of Justice. We take confidentiality seriously, so when we have memorandums about our ongoing matters, we have an obligation to keep that confidential. Asked if he would prohibit releasing memos on a discussion with the president, he said, as general position, I think it's quite clear. It's what we were taught, all of us as prosecutors and agents. So it's funny. Now all of a sudden, nobody's allowed to see him. Nobody. Then that means there's some top secret there. And Comey has already broken the law. But then again, you know, he's on a different plane than us peons in America. It makes you wonder if there's not two different sets of laws on the books. It really does. I mean, here it is. Hillary Clinton leaked top secret information. Comey leaked top secret information. He leaked a discussion with the President of the United States. He took it upon himself to expose that conversation. Yeah, the newspapers, I can't remember if it was the New York Times or the Washington Post that published those memos. I believe it was New York Times. They had a right to do that. Problem is, he didn't have a right to expose those memos. Rosenstein has faced his fair share of criticism over his role in the Comey controversy. His memo laying out the rationality for Comey's ouster was initially cited as a key factor by the Trump administration, though Trump and his aides have since given varying explanation as to how much of a role the Deputy Attorney General recommendation played. Rosenstein later appointed Mueller as a special counsel to oversee the probe of Russian meddling in the 2016 campaign and possible coordination with Trump associates. In his first national interview, Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein stood by his decision to appoint Mueller despite his close relationship with Comey. He had an excellent reputation, really bipartisan support for his integrity. That's why I made that decision. The Department of Justice, we judge by results, and so my views about that is we will see if they do the right thing. And if they don't do the right thing, it could throw this whole country into pure hell. Rosenstein also defended a newly announced Justice Department decision to expand what's known as civil asset forfeiture, allowing police to seize property of suspects without proving guilt. The move has spurred some criticism from Republican lawmakers. In order to seize property, police need probable cause, the same standard that police need to make an arrest. And when a decision is made to forfeit property federally, we conduct an independent review of the facts and circumstances. Say right now, I don't like this guy. I never agree with the forfeiture. If you are convicted, okay, I can understand. But if you're accused, they could take property? Something don't smell right. Something doesn't smell right in Denver. It makes you wonder. It really does. At least it makes me wonder. What the hell's going on with our government when they're threatening to take property away from people without convictions? That really has to make you question the federal government. At least it makes me question the federal government. All right, you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on SHRmedia.com and HighPlainsDailyNews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
business. That you didn't build that.
A team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying capitalist, stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. And we need to be questioning what the hell is going on in our government. Because what is going on is scary. Anymore, accusations fly nonstop. Whether this goes to a liberal, conservative, whatever. That seems to be our political process anymore. Make allegations. And we know the big offender of this. It's not helping the political process. It's creating divide. It's creating friction. And that's what the Democrats thrive on. They're thriving on this obstruction and havoc that's being created in this country. They're loving it. It's what they strive for. Because it goes to, come on, you goddamn one little damn, there we go. Nope. Come on. There we go. One little damn knob. we need to be cautious with our government and start paying attention to it. I'm going to leave it at that. I don't want to get into it too much. What in the hell? Oh. Trying to figure out what is causing a little blur on the camera. And I can't figure it out. Oh, wow. Holy shit. I can't believe that's in the damn frame. I don't care. Little dresser I have right here. Not dresser, but a little cabinet. So, everybody, don't forget, we have Sackhead Radio in Las Vegas for Freedom Fest. God damn it. I'm just having a bugger of a time tonight, ain't I? Bugger of a time. They're out at Las Vegas for Freedom Fest at Paris Resort. They'll be coming up in about an hour and a half, roughly. And you'll want to tune in to listen to hear what's going on. There's a whole host of speakers, some great speakers. I'm not even going to try to attempt to, start rattling them off because I could be here for a while trying to give justice to the people that should be named. I know Sackhead Sean is going to be sitting on a panel for the Second Amendment debate. And I'll tell you, freaking jealous, Sean. So, a ruling has come down very quickly from the Supreme Court. Hawaii, their district judge, Derek Watson, had an appeal last week. And he had put in stricter or loosened up, depending on how you want to look at it, on the refugee restrictions that we have going on. And I don't understand it because the federal judges, the Supreme Court, ruled on it. It went up the chain of command, so to speak, to the Supreme Court that is above this U.S. district judge. And the liberals didn't like it. So they started appealing. And they got a different ruling when it comes to explanation of family members, close family members. And this federal judge, or not federal, a U.S. district judge, went and rewrote what the Supreme Court said. And it's like, what the hell? So Sessions went directly back to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court has ruled. The Supreme Court is granting the Trump administration to a request to more strictly enforce its ban on refugees, at least until a federal appeals court weighs in. But the justices are leaving in place a lower court's order that makes it easier for travelers from 6 mostly Muslim countries to enter the United States. The administration had appealed last week's ruling by U.S. District Judge Derek Watson, but that required the government to allow in refugees formerly working with a resettlement agency in the United States. Watson also vastly expanded the family relation that refugees and visitors can use to get into the country. The High Court on Wednesday blocked Watson's order as it applies to refugees, but not the expanded list of relatives. The justice said the federal appeals court in San Francisco should now consider the appeal. It is not clear how quickly that will happen. In the meantime, though, up to 24,000 refugees who already have been assigned to a charity or religious organization in the United States will not be able to use that connection to get into the United States. The Supreme Court also denied. Oh, hold on. And I want to welcome Crash to the show. You there?
You're fat.
You're ugly. I can lose weight. What's your excuse?
I looked at your wife and I got petrified.
Yeah, that happens. You know, things get hard when you look at my wife.
Shit.
What's going on, brother? What's going on, brother? It's been a while.
Yeah, I figured I'd call in and do a cameo. What the hell?
So anything going on in New Jersey?
Well, actually, I've got a couple of things going on. And I didn't know, I don't know what you're talking about tonight, but I didn't know what would be most appealing to your listening audience of four. But let's see. We've got gun control. We've got climate change, and we've got police state.
Okay, 2 out of the 3 are some of my favorite subjects to talk about on this show. So,
okay,
let's start with the gun control.
Pick one.
Gun control.
Okay, gun control. Okay, so anybody that has followed politics knows that New Jersey is currently in a lame duck with a Republican governor. And supposedly, he was a huge proponent of gun rights, Second Amendment rights, and all the rest of this. Well, it's been
the only thing he's for is Twinkies.
7 and 8. God.
I said the only thing he's for is Twinkies.
Yeah.
Twinkies and laying on a beach.
Dude, some of those memes are the best ever.
Yes.
I think my absolute favorite is the one where they put him in the beach chair on the bridge, and then they also put the sand going up the street. That was one of my favorites.
I did see. I seen the one with him sitting on the bridge.
The only one better than that actually wasn't even a meme. It was actually a picture. Somebody who is very skilled with sand art did a full-size Christie sand sculpture on the beach.
Oh, nice.
2 days later. And they even dyed the sand so it was colored. It was the funniest thing I have ever seen.
No, someone superimposed him on a Gilligan Island picture.
I haven't seen the Gilligan Island one yet.
Yeah, so, that is friggin' hysterical. All right, well, let's go on with the gun control.
Then I'll retain judgment. Okay, however, so we're going with gun control. Okay. So, if you're not familiar with what's been going on in the state of New Jersey, or the Republic, People's Democratic Republic, whatever. There was an incident a couple of years back where a young lady used the law. Okay, she was in an abusive relationship, and she went through the legal process that the state tells you to go through to stay safe. She filed for a restraining order, and we all know that a piece of paper will keep you safe.
Oh, yes.
Now, again, alpha particle radiation, yes, it actually could, depending on distance. But beyond that, yeah, you're pretty much fucked. Okay? So she did that. She also used her constitutional right to apply for not a concealed carry permit. Because, yeah, right, get one of those in New Jersey, forget about it. She applied for a permit to purchase a pistol, to have one in the home, because that's how fearful she was for her well-being. Now, here's the problem. They got tied up in a local bureaucracy, which is common for this state. Legally, they have 30 days. If they have not made a determination that you cannot have one within 30 days, they're supposed to issue it automatically. However, they use the process to continuously extend the 30 days. Saying that, a piece of paper wasn't filed properly, there was a signature not in the right spot. So they essentially make it so that the 30 days never starts until you challenge them. This sat in limbo for quite a while. Well, while it was sitting in limbo, her estranged ex showed up and stabbed her to death. Not, didn't use a gun, used a knife. Most likely, liberals will call it an assault knife. I'm sure it had a flashlight and a forward grip and extended stock on it. Sorry to make jokes about it, but
no, it's
He stabbed her when she got home. She was getting out of her car. He stabbed her to death in her freaking driveway. So even if she had gotten the permit, even if she had gone and purchased and trained on a pistol or any firearm in the state, she never actually even would have had a chance to get to it because you're not allowed to leave your house with it. You can't leave the house unless you're going. I mean, there's very specific rules if you're going to leave the house with a gun, and you'll go to jail if you disobey these. So even if the process had gone smoothly, she still was left unprotected because she was still relying on a piece of paper, which completely failed her. And supposedly, and this part I can't corroborate or I have not been able to, she had, complained about the restraining order not being effective. He was still coming up to her and was being told that law enforcement hands are tied. So, I mean, honestly, that just goes to show how effective the restraining order truly is. So, Christy put together a full commission. We're going to examine this. We're going to streamline and expedite permits for individuals in these types of situations, right?
Bullshit.
Years later, he just signed into law an amendment in addition to the concealed carry thing to expand who can essentially pretty much instantly get a concealed carry weapon permit in the state of New Jersey, which is damn near impossible to get. It was only ever open to ex-law enforcement. If you were a sheriff's deputy, if you were a state trooper, if you were municipal, if you were corrections, so long as you qualified and passed your exams, you could continue to carry after retirement. That was it. So he expanded this. You want to take a stab at who he expanded it to?
Nah, go ahead and tell me.
Park rangers, members of the tax enforcement unit for income tax evasion, so long as they were able to legally carry while they worked for the state. Let's see, the guys that work on the toll commission, the toll cops, if they could carry while on duty, they can now carry once they're retired. So essentially all he did was say that if you had a badge and a legal means to carry while on duty, you can now carry after retirement. That's it. That's his whole Second Amendment thing. That's his entire expansion. His supporting the Second Amendment just expanded what he considers law enforcement's right to carry. That's it. Nothing more. The legal law-abiding citizen is still hamstrung.
Yeah. And they love it.
Oh, they absolutely love it. I'm sure they freaking do. And the funny thing, and you know what? And they love it so much they keep having to raise the taxes in this state, and they keep having to bend us over the barrel to pay for things, because every time they pass a new law that they completely love, a handful of people figure out a way to get the fuck out of that goddamn bridge and into another state.
Yep.
My family's working on it. We're out.
Oh, there's. I know.
We've been working on it for years.
Hell, I got the hell out of there.
You know what? You were a lucky one. You got out and you stayed out. I was a stupid one. I got out.
You came back.
I got out a second time. I came back. I actually
and it keeps pulling you back.
Twice.
It keeps pulling you back.
Well, I figure the grandparents can't live forever, so. Sorry if I'm going to be dancing on a grave or two, but that means I get the fuck out. Okay, so that was gun control.
All right.
What was your other favorite of three?
You take a guess out of the two. Take a guess. Which one?
Let's see. I said we had gun control, we had police state, and we had climate change. Okay, well, I knew gun control was the winner. Ooh, now police state and climate change.
No, there's a definite winner.
It's slightly a toss-up between the two.
Nope.
And honestly, it kind of depends on your mood.
No.
I'm going to go with you're leaning towards climate change.
Yep, that's my other big one, climate change. That is a...
And here I was hoping you were going to go with police states. I could tell you all about a speed camera if they want to install.
Well, we can hit that next. I got actually. Oh shit! You're gonna have to come to the climate change after this brief message. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense, and we'll be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cat for the stupid bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sako as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense Show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. Fuck it. Hey, what's going on, Crash? I forgot what I was going to say.
Usually you follow that up with something along the lines of the Jersey takeover is here.
We expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Don't forget, tonight you will have the Sackheads radio show live from Las Vegas, Paris Resort Hotel, coming to you from Freedom Fest. So I know we only got go ahead.
Am I allowed to make fun of Sackheads or no?
You can make fun of them.
Okay, I'll have to work on some material for the next time I call in then.
So they're at Freedom Fest, and hopefully next year I'll be there. I got some things in the work, so we'll see. But you only got a few more minutes.
If you start hitchhiking now, you might get there in time.
Yeah, my thumb will be sore, but I might make it there. One day.
The only thing that will satisfy a woman, because it sure as hell ain't your pecker.
You had to go there.
Of course I did.
All right.
I will.
All right, let's get back to gun control. Or no, climate change you wanted to talk about.
Okay, the climate change. All right. It's bullshit. I'm going to mention the bullshit.
Well, climate change is a big bullshit scam, but go ahead.
Now, there was a whole couple of things on it, and honestly, this is kind of a compilation of various things that I've been reading and seeing over the past few weeks. Evidently, California feels themselves to be above the U.S. government, federal government. It made headlines, and I know everybody has seen it, that Trump pulled out of the supposed Paris Accords, to reduce global warming gases and carbon emissions and all the rest of this. He didn't buy into it. Now, in all fairness, there is science that supposedly supports climate change. There's also a lot of science. Hold on. There's science that supports it. There's also science that debunks it. There is science on both sides. Now, on both sides, you have the fringe sciences, and you have some mainstream or some legitimate, recognized scientists or institutions that are putting their names to both sides of the argument. The fact of the matter is, and I've always made this a point, is we can't deny that currently, yes, the world, globally, the world is going through a change. That fact in itself is undeniable. Okay, with the weather swings and cooling at certain points, heating up at certain points, changes in topography, the solar. There's a lot that, and it's beyond. You can't contest it.
Well, here, let me jump in real quick. Yes. Did you know that there's global warming going on Mars and Jupiter to also?
Okay.
But there's no man there to cause it.
Well, that actually kind of feeds into my next point of the fact that this shit happens. Okay? The fact of the matter is, everybody goes by, and this is what pisses me off, is what gets quoted is, since records were recorded, and since recorded history, and since this, and since that. That's what they're going by to say that this is a big problem. Well, here's honestly, as far as, based on, well, let's see, studying history, studying sciences, working in the field and teaching at universities, you're talking about essentially instrumentation records. You're not talking about true Earth and global records, because you can take core samples and get records going back millions of years.
Yeah.
So records are there. And we have records of heating. We have records of freezing. We have records of ice ages. We have records of heat swings. We have these records, but it doesn't fit the agenda that is currently being pushed. And honestly, that's what pisses me off. Okay, the Earth is, lack of a better way of putting it, it's a living, breathing organism. And it goes through stages. It goes through phases. Just the same as the human body does. You expose it to too much of something for a while, it gets sick, it tries to expel it, it tries to heal itself, and it counteracts things. You develop fevers, you throw up, there's different things that happen. Well, the Earth really, it acts the same way. Okay, okay, so they're saying that it's all the greenhouse gases, it's all the carbon dioxide, it's everything that we're pumping out, it's the methane. Okay, well, plant life feeds on all of that.
Yeah,
the greenery feeds on all that, and the greenery and the plant life is what filters that and then provides oxygen. And arborists and people in the plant industry have noticed that trees and shrubbery and a lot of those types of things were actually healthier than they've been in a long time.
Well, you have forests growing back at a higher rate because there is a slight higher level of carbon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because
that's what they
need.
Yeah.
They're feeding off of what, so everything that we're being blamed for, the trees are fucking loving. And in turn, the trees are turning around and saying, I'm going to grow bigger, stronger, and I'm going to give you back more O2, which is then going to help you. Now, overall, with population and all the rest of it, is sustainable? You know what? It's not my field. I don't fucking know.
Well,
all I know is
here's
that
my
mass hysteria bullshit it's pissing me the fuck off, because they only ever point to a part of it. Like, I just read a study and they were talking about, this is the stupidest statement I think I've seen yet this year.
I've seen a lot of stupid statements.
This is the warmest year. 2017 is the warmest year on record since 2016. Did you know that?
2015, 2014, 2013.
And
they keep getting caught fudging the numbers.
North Arctic ice is at its slowest progression rate since the 70s, when they started keeping records.
Bullshit.
Yet they didn't mention the South Pole ice.
Is that a record?
Which,
they think it's secular, where one side grows, the other one diminishes, and then it reverses. I think I used that word
could
right.
That tie into? No, you absolutely did that right. Because could that also tie into one of the worries that they've been having for, since before 2000, about the reversal of the polar signals, of positive and negative polar signals? Because that's been a thing that everybody's been worried about for almost 2 decades now. So could it be possible that they're interlinked, and where one is receding, the other one is increasing? And it could trigger that, because there is evidence that the polar signals of north and south have been reversed in history.
Oh, yeah.
So honestly, a lot of this stuff is coinciding. Now, this is not, I'm going to make this very clear. This is not, I'm not a scientist specifically in this field. I am somebody educated in the sciences. I am somebody that teaches certain disciplines. I am also somebody who questions everything. If I don't understand something, I research it. It's that simple. And I don't research from one source. I research from as many sources as I can, because I will not be dictated to. I prefer to be educated upon.
Well, here's the way I look at it.
On everybody else. And the overall consensus is, if you look at everything as a whole, and not just look at one piece, you look at the entire thing as a whole, there's a lot of questions that start to get raised about the theories that they're pushing.
Oh, they've gotten caught with it, falsifying records. But this is the way I look at it when it comes to the weather. And I'm going to bring it back to a medical It's sort of like you stubbed your toe, and these people want to cut the legs off to rectify stubbing your toe. Well, that's not what happens. We stubbed our toe climate change wise. We've done some damage. Yes, I will agree. We've done some damage. But that doesn't mean we go nuts and start shutting everything down and, causing pure disaster. You correct what you need to. You watch walking around the room. You don't go around polluting like we were for a little bit.
And you know what, though? The thing is that analogy, that makes perfect sense to me. You know that it would. Now, here's my problem with it. Is that on a global level, they push it. The UN specifically pushes it.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. There's the United Nations. It's supposed to be all of the nations of the world that are bought into this, which is supposed to be all of, if not 90% of the civilized nations of the world. Not to, disclude, some of the war-torn countries and backwater areas. But my problem with this is there's so much pressure on certain areas, such as the European Union, Britain, France, Spain, Germany, Sweden, all of those, Portugal, that whole area. There's a massive fucking push on us, the United States of America. There's a push on Canada, and we're not even going to get into fucking Trudeau and his stupidity, especially not right now because I'm royally pissed at him. But there's this big push that, we have to cut back. We have to cut back. This is the only way to save the world. Yet nobody's looking over at Asia and China, who's pumping more pollutants out now. They pump more pollutants out in a year than we did in half of the decade to an entire decade.
Well, why do you think all these companies go to China to make their products? Because energy is penny on the dimes because there's no regulations.
That's the thing. The United Nations is bought and paid for. All of this is bought and paid for by big corporate. And that's what pisses me off. If this was truly about humanity, then none of that shit would come into play. And these people that are supposedly fighting for us, they would be public servants making, I'll even be nice, because if at a global scale, they're making $60,000 a year, maybe 70 with benefits. Okay, fine. Not making 6 figures with stock options and investments and full benefits for life with security details. All these people that are voting on this shit,
they're elitists. They don't know common life.
And that's the thing. They're not public servants. And honestly, that's part of it. Bothers me to make about them. Nobody in the United Nations has voted in.
They don't understand the repercussions of the energy costs that when they put these regulations in and it skyrockets our energy costs. They don't understand it. They don't worry about stuff like that.
Well, you know what? Here's one for you. I'll tell you what, this guy's catching a lot of flack. His timing was, honestly, I'll actually say his timing was a little bit beautiful and a little bit chicken shitty. I'm not going to name which power agency, but a power agency in New Jersey for public power is leaving. Head, like the president or CEO, whatever the hell the title was, I don't remember. But he's leaving. And in his final press conference, he issued essentially this is what I hope that will be achieved in the near future. And this is why I think it's kind of chicken shitty. He didn't take the stance when he was in control to actually been able to implement something. He kind of dumped it on somebody else while he was running out the back door. But I give him credit for making the statement because a lot of people have known it to be true. Renewable energy, to an extent, is feasible, whether it's solar or wind power or hydraulically generated through ocean currents and everything else. It is feasible to an extent. His thing was, we need to stop billing individuals based on electric usage. We need to get away from that because we can more by investing in these alternative energy sources, which we've already been doing. It's already there, and we're making profits off of this.
Yeah.
We need to remove the billing that was there when we only used coal and petrol. And instead, we go to a flat cycle where essentially each homeowner pays the exact same amount for the usage of connecting to the utility line. Now, I know it's a little bit of an extreme, but somebody finally said it. And I'm sorry, when I've actually questioned my utility company on why my bill is so high, and I'm told that just for the privilege of connecting to the power pole, it's several $100s, and then the maintenance is another $100 and some odd dollars, and then my usage is a few $100s more than that, and that's the reason why I've got the high electric bill. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, well, one thing I hate.
My electricity goes out 6 times a year, and you're telling me that even if I didn't turn the goddamn thing on and I turned off your fucking box, I'm still going to have to pay you $300 a year just for a privilege of a line that I'm not allowed to disconnect? Yes, that's correct.
Well, we get penalized and charged extra after a certain amount. And there's no way for us to know if we're getting close to it. They have a number, but there's no way for us to know when we're getting close so we can cut down on energy use. Yeah, it's bullshit. Then they charge like double the price after you go over a certain amount because the size of your house divided by, the herpes simplex 10, it's just fucking ridiculous. And I'm sorry, you have how many people in the house will determine how much electricity. I'm a nighttime person. So I'm up at late nights with the TV.
But see, that's honestly, and you know what? And as bad as this sounds, and I know this sounds bad. I honestly, I do. I know this sounds bad. Because you know me. I'm a conservative. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a socialist. I'm not a communist. I don't buy into all that crap of, you know what, I'll work my ass off, you sit on your ass, and I'll divide equally with you. I have no problem helping, but you better be doing something.
It's personal, whether to help.
But it's a personal choice. With things such, I could consider, or I could almost understand buying into, okay, like with the power grid situation, right? Now you have households that have 6 people in them that are up primarily during the daytime, but don't use almost any energy at night. And then you have the house across the street that has 4 people in it, but 2 of them work two of them work the off shift. So they're primarily up at night, and they don't use quite as much during the day. And the whole balancing thing of, well, okay, this one uses more because of this one uses less, but if we split the difference, they both pay the same rate. I know that's a socialist ideology. I do understand that. And I could kind of buy into that along the same lines as the fucking school tax that the retiree that lives next to me has been paying for the past 60 years that doesn't have any goddamn kids. But he's been paying into the school district.
Hey, I gotta jump in here.
I can, like I said, I can kind of see it. I'm not sure I can buy it. I'm not sure I can be comfortable with it.
John McCain has been diagnosed with a brain tumor. Not being serious. He went into surgery for a blood clot, and they discovered he has a brain tumor. They have removed it all. Prognosis is good, but he's 80 years old with a brain tumor. That's not good. I've railed on the guy. I've railed on the guy, but that's not. This is something different. Politically, I don't agree with a lot of shit he does, but.
Well, politically, I agreed with nothing that Clinton did, and almost nothing that Obama did, but getting that type of news, I still feel bad. I mean, in all honesty, I mean, you draw a line, and well, a decent human being draws a line.
Exactly, because I know there's going to be some that are going to be wishing for ill will, but
but that's fucked up, you know, because
he's still father. So hopefully a speedy recovery, but he's 80 years old with a long medical history. I think it's time that maybe he retire and enjoy.
I was going to say he should be. Honestly, I'm hope if that's his prognosis, I would hope that he retires in 2017. But depending on how the elections look, like I don't know when his seat's up, and I don't know when the different seats are up. I mean, if he decided, okay, well, to help my caucus, I'll hold till 2018. I'm not sure I would agree with it or support it, but I could understand it. But he needs to be looking at his exit game. He needs to be looking at his way out, because honestly, that's for him. That's for his family. And at the end of the day, what the hell is he doing all this shit for?
I
mean, what are you and I busting our asses for? We're busting our asses for our families, right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's what it is. It's for our families and our communities and for everything else. I mean, that's what these politicians are supposed to be. That's supposedly what they're doing the same thing for, is their constituents and for the well-being of everybody. So that should be something he's looking at, and I pray that he is. And I pray him a speedy recovery.
Yeah. I got to hit a break. I'm actually late coming into a break. So,
I can't believe I haven't yelled at you from my wife. I'm going to keep riding this wave.
Oh, you know, you just opened up for a really good bust on your wife, but I won't go there.
Go ahead. No, let it go. Let it fly.
You said ride the wave. I was going to ask, what are you going to do? Have sex with her tonight?
I was hopeful a few hours ago.
No, but you opened the door on that ride the wave comment, you know. You set that up.
Are you kidding me? I love smacking that ass. It does all the work for me. Smack it once, that's all the stroking I need, baby.
Oh, God.
I swear to God, if she ever hears this show, I am so fucking dead. I blame that one on the beer. I blame that on the beer and the Jack and whatever else I can blame it on.
Sexism. You're blaming it on sexism. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Planet Radio. We will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplansdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying Catholics do it, bro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. Welcome back, Crash. Glad you can stick around a little bit longer. Crash?
Yeah, well, the warden hasn't showed up yet.
The warden, the ball and chain.
Look, in all seriousness, just, okay, honestly, I probably am nostalgia that to an extent. And all the rest of that shit. All joking aside, I truly do love my wife. I truly do think she's an absolutely beautiful woman. And shit, she makes fun of me. I mean, like, that's fucking bad. You got a problem with it, just turn off the goddamn station. Fuck you. Sorry.
All right, well, we're going to change up gears real quick. L.A. is seeing a 60% jump in deportation cases under Trump. Can you believe that? People that are here illegally are actually getting charged and having to go to court and getting deported.
Honestly, one of the things that's been pissing me off, since the previous administration, was this whole standing of, well, you know what? We wouldn't break the law if there was a path to citizenship. Guess what, asshole? There's been a path to citizenship for quite a long-ass time now. It's always been there. Fact of the matter is, you didn't want to use that path, so you decided to cut through the woods, and you're banking on the fact that, well, if enough people run along the exact same path I did, the forest rangers aren't going to get pissed off at the fact that we just destroyed a crap load of shit along our way, and then let us get away with it. Well, guess what? There's a new fucking ranger in town. Fuck you. There is a path. Use that path or go the fuck home.
I got a question.
And then wait for some other person to show up.
I got a question for you. And I'm going to slightly change it up, but I'm not. This is going to talk about sanctuary cities. Liberals are defending sanctuary cities left, right, and center and ignoring federal law and getting pissed when federal money gets yanked away. What do you think would happen if you had a red state that ignored federal law and banned abortion?
That's, what do you mean what would happen? It's already happened. There was numerous cases a few years when the Affordable Care Act, or AKA Obamacare, went into effect, saying that everybody had to abide by, you had to provide birth control. You have to provide abortion. You have to. And that was federal law. Texas, Hobby Lobby, that's one state and that's one private company. There was numerous others, but those were the two most public. Were fighting these. Texas fighting it on the abortion front, Hobby Lobby fighting it on the birth control front based on religious freedom. And the Supreme Court and local courts, and I mean, a lot of things were torn, but essentially in the end, there was consensuses that were reached that, you know what, the ACA or Obamacare was overreaching in those regards. There were red states that did get crucified and did have to go to court and were held in contempt and were held, I mean, not even just legally, but in the court of public opinion on a lot of this stuff. And it's all bullshit. It never should have happened. I mean, honestly, I mean, my opinion, you know my opinion on, birth control. Honestly, I think that's just a responsible decision to be made based on the person and the relationship with your significant other. Do I feel that the state and the federal government are 100% responsible for that? No, I don't. That's a personal decision you're making. You're deciding to have sex. You can decide whether to buy a condom or go on birth control, or you can decide to finish them off another way, or, hey, guess what? Not do it. Sorry if that sounds harsh, but it's a decision. Okay? It's not like, getting asbestosis or, melanoma or other things that, yes, you can raise the argument. Those are decisions as well, but there are drastic differences. When it comes to abortion, I do feel that, yes, it does have a place.
Right, but let's go and make a sanctuary city on abortion where they're going to protect the child and not allow abortions to be done. How bad would the liberals lose their shit compared to where they allow the immigrants to break laws?
Now I've got two problems with that. Number one, my problem with that is, okay, fine. I do believe, now as a male, I do believe in a woman's right to choose. Okay? However, I also believe that that right being protected the way that the liberals push it also removes the rights of men and other individuals that are involved, including the unborn baby. And with that, what I mean, before all the hate mail fucking starts, because I'm sure it's on its fucking way, is...
Remember, all hate mail goes to crash@reaver.1.
Look, I've worked. So you know my work history. You've got the same one. We've worked inner city. We've worked these environments. You know my personal history as well. You know our exposure to all this shit.
Right.
How many times was the free abortion clinic used as a means of birth control so that somebody could have unprotected sex to get an extra $100 off of John that night?
Also, think about where a majority of the Planned Parenthoods, these abortion clinics, where the majority of them at.
Okay. All right. There's that. All right. But how many times did that take place? Because I know you and I both saw that in abundance. Now, there's also the case of, okay, if, God forbid, I'm with a woman and we both agreed. We both agreed. Obviously, going into it, we didn't want to have kids because I used a condom. So I'm using a rubber. I'm using a condom with spermicide on it, which means we both agreed that we wanted to have our fun, but didn't want to have a child out of it. Now, would you agree that we both agreed upon that because, well, she, agreed to be putting it on and utilizing it? Would that count as we both agreed? What would you say?
I don't know. Yeah.
You don't know?
I would agree.
Okay. So we both agreed to this. So I used the rubber. Well, now a condom, that's mass manufactured. They are prone to defects. We all know this. They're only 99.9% effective. This one was ineffective. She ended up pregnant. I'm at a point in my life where I know, flat out, I cannot support a child. I'm also not sure I want this. I mean, I just started dating you. This is the third date. I'm not really sure I want to marry you and spend the rest of my life with you. Blah, 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 blah. Well, she gets her feelings hurt and says, fuck you, I'm keeping the child. Well, the whole right to choose.
Baby.
Well, the problem is the way the laws are on the liberal side is the right to choose is a 100% protection for her. It has zero protection for me. So we both made an agreement going into it. No kids. However, now that something went wrong, she's allowed to completely alter that agreement, and I'm stuck along for the ride. I can't sign off right. I can't say that I'm not going to support this child, because the court's going to say, well, hey, you were present at the time of conception. So half of everything you get from this day for the next 18 years goes to her. Not goes to the kid. It's not that it goes to the kid. It goes to her.
Real quick, you saw Eddie Murphy Raw, right? His stand-up comedy from like the 80s, 90s. Eddie, I want to have.
Long ass time ago.
I want to have Eddie. All right, go on with what you're saying. Ignore me.
But no, then you get my point now?
Yeah, I do.
Essentially, we made an agreement going into this by the use of a contraceptive. The contraceptive did not work. So instantaneously,
Sue the company.
My rights are removed. All of it. Yeah, that's never worked. It's been attempted. It's never worked. Because they say flat out, well, on the box, that 99.9% effective. So you knew there was a risk. Well, yeah, I knew there was a risk, and so did she, but we still agreed to utilize the object based on the risk. But as soon as that 0.1% occurred, she rewrote the whole contract, and I get no say. Like, I get no say going forward. I mean, if the law was written so that she could say, okay, well, I want to keep the baby, but I absolve you of all legal rights, ramifications, obligations, so that would be one thing. Honestly, I can tell you as a father, if that were to occur, I would never go with that. I mean, even if I didn't end up loving the mother, if I fathered the child, I would always be there for the child. I mean, sorry, you know me. You know I would be there. But the fact of the matter is, it's the government telling me that, hey, guess what? Equality means you get 0 and she gets everything. And you know what? I honestly have always thought that was bullshit. I mean, I'm a child of a split home. My father got fucking railroaded in the custody and the divorce. My mom got fucking everything. It had nothing to do with which one was the better parent. In all reality, my dad could actually have provided better. It had to do with public stigma. It had to do with public, just the way that everything's viewed. It's not equal rights. And that's what pisses me off with the whole right to choose shit. Is the right to choose, that's what they promote it as, but it's the right to choose for the woman. Now, I'm never going to tell, well, if they're underage, fine, I'll tell my daughters this. No, you're not getting a piercing. No, you're not getting a tattoo. Hey, guess what? I have to sign paperwork. You're not fucking getting it. I can tell them that. Once they turn 18, I can't say shit. I'm not going to say they don't have the right to choose about their body. But hey, guess what? As a guy, I also have the right to say about my body and my future. The right to choose is a two-way street. This whole equality thing is a fucking sham. Bullshit. And it's been bullshit for a long ass time.
No.
And I'm calling shenanigans.
Evil shenanigans?
Like pistol whipping shenanigans.
You say shenanigans one more time, I'm going to pistol whip you.
Shenanigans.
Oh, you asshole. No, it's, hey, Favre, what's that restaurant you like to go to that has all the shit on the walls? Shenanigans?
Look, I just want you to get your fucking fat ass up here with a pistol that's not registered up here so I can take those goddamn business. That's all I'm looking for. Take that clear. You provide that. I provide the woods, the backhoe, and the lie.
Oh, Lord. I'm going to have the FBI.
Did I say that out loud?
I'm going to have knocking on the door. Yeah, there was talk of a lie, some shovels in the woods. What's going on? Me no speak English? Sexism?
One kinky ass night in Lower Manhattan. That's all I'm
Oh, Lord.
Christ.
Exactly. All right, well, we got to take a break. We're late again. Constantly late anymore. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense and
Everyone that
Crash.
happened to my wife, I ended up with 2 more kids.
Yeah, that's always a bad thing there. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense Wood Crash right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplansdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying capitalist, stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeovers here, we have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to watch a broadcast, go to shrmedia.com, click on the Listen, Watch Live button. Crash had to get going. It was nice of him to call in. It's been a while, you know, personal lives get a little hectic. And all right, we're gonna jump around. And like I said earlier, my thoughts and prayers go out to John McCain and his family for a speedy recovery. And please, it's not that I disagree politically so much with you, as you're 80 years old, sir. You served the country. Your health isn't doing that great. I think it's time for you to go home and spend your years with your family. Enjoy it. You deserve it. And with that, where are we? Oh, ICE is adding officers in uncooperative jurisdictions to arrest release criminal aliens. The U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement executives are reallocating resources to increase enforcement efforts in uncooperative jurisdictions where criminal aliens are released back onto the street by local jail officials. Acting ICE Director Thomas D. Homan said he is going to deploy more officers and agents to quote-unquote sanctuary cities to arrest illegal criminals, the Washington Examiner reported. In an interview with the Examiner, praised the focus on law enforcement from Donald J. Trump, saying what this president has done is taken the handcuffs off of law enforcement officers who are charged with enforcing immigration laws. He said the president's focus resulted in a 70% drop of border apprehensions, leaving immigration officers to place more emphasis on interior enforcement against criminal aliens. He said his focus is now on finding criminal aliens locked up in jails, illegally working jobs, and those on the run from law enforcement. The Examiner reported that a key target is the 300-plus sanctuary cities and counties that refuse to cooperate with ICE officials on detainer requests. Director Homan blasted these jurisdictions, saying, "In America I grew up in, cities didn't shield people who violated the law." ICE officials clarified the director's comment and said they are not planning an operation involving sanctuary cities. As Director Homan stated, uncooperative jurisdictions have a higher rate of criminal aliens released than in places that honor ICE detainers. It's the liberals have to make those exaggerated statements to get their points through. or get their propaganda, not points. So they go into this, you're invading and all this. No, they're just putting in extra agents because there's no cooperation and it's harder for them to catch. That's why they're not cooperating. As a result, ICE is forced to focus additional resources to conduct at-large arrests in fields in these non-cooperative areas. Officials said it is less about political battle of sanctuary cities and more about applying law enforcement resources to address higher number of criminal aliens released from jail. As an example, the release of a previously deported violent criminal alien in Travis County, Texas, forced ICE enforcement removal officers to track down the man at his home, place him under arrest. The county jail, under the command of Travis County Sheriff Sanctuary Sally Hernandez, released the criminal alien despite the issuance of an immigration detainer. Sheriff's office officials confirmed to Breitbart that they received the immigration detainer, but only held the man for 6 hours before releasing him on a personal... This pisses me off. He got released on a personal recognizing bond on a charge of assault causing bodily injury and a city ordinance violation. Having to arrest a criminal alien at their home or in public puts ICE officials and the public in more danger than a simple transfer of custody in a secure jail setting. So now they have to go out into the street where you're in an uncontrolled environment. God knows what can happen at any moment. These are the dangers that they face because you have a bunch of liberals that are ignoring the law. It just boggles my mind. It really does. It really does. They put so many people at danger to protect criminals, and that's all they're doing. Director Homan told the Examiner that sanctuary city policies actually create more fear in immigrant communities when officers are forced to go into someone's home to make the arrest. I'm going to arrest him and anybody else with him because there is no population off the table anymore. So if you really want to tap down the fear in the immigration community, I would think the counties would want me in their jails. We're going to enforce the laws on the book without apology. We'll continue to prioritize what we do. But it's not okay to violate the laws of this country anymore. You're going to be held accountable. These officials need to be arrested for ignoring federal laws. And yes, there is U.S. State Code 1324. Makes it illegal for them to do this. Start arresting these, especially you hit some of these mayors and town councils that set these sanctuary cities up. You'll see that end real quick. Those people are not above the law. Those people don't have the mega money behind them. And you'll see these sanctuary cities shut down that quick. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. Coming up at top of hour is the Sackheads Radio Show live from Las Vegas, Paris Resort for the Freedom Fest.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplains.dailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying half of the stupid bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sako as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. Top of the hour in about 15 minutes, you'll have the Sackheads radio show. Not that I can speak tonight or any other night. It's, oh my God. They're broadcasting live from Freedom Fest, Paris Resort in Las Vegas. Oh, we have Crash calling in for the last 15 minutes. Hold on one second. And actually, Crash is calling back in. Welcome back, Crash. We got about 10, 15
About
minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I looked at the clock. I was like, oh, cool. I might be able to get back on the damn show.
What, did the wife
Yay!
send you out to the store?
No, she walked out the door, and I'm sorry. You know what? Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
I do not want to have to deal with the bullshit tonight. And yes, I want to get laid at something this year. Not on my birthday.
All right. Well, let's get on to it. You just like totally killed the conversation right there. Oh, what I was talking about when you left. ICE is increasing its officers in areas that are basically sanctuary cities because they're not holding these criminals. They're releasing them back out into the public. So now ICE has to, track them down, go get them in houses, and arrest them, which the director said is actually causing more fear in the community than if they just held them the way the law says they should. Because now they're going out, they're barging into houses, because they're going into unknown, they're coming in hard and heavy, and other people are getting arrested, caught up in it because of, they're harboring a criminal. Now, if the communities would just hold these people in a prison. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm honestly, I've been trying to get clarification on this, and I've been doing a bit of reading on it, and I can't get any fucking clarification. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, is that a legal law enforcement agency?
Yes, it's a federal agency. It's been combined.
Okay.
It's what? Homeland Security.
We're not going to go down the whole Homeland Security.
I know,
thing,
but they do have when it comes to immigration.
So it is a legal law enforcement agency. Now, here's where my problem lies, and this is where a lot of my confusion is.
Confucius saying.
If I was...
Sorry.
Scratch ass at night, wake up with stinky finger? Yeah, I know. If a podunk sheriff from some backwater county issued a warrant or a hold order for any reason and put it out to NCIS and out through the wire, or just made a fucking phone call and said, hey, Sheriff so-and-so, I'm looking for this guy. If he pops up in your jurisdiction, can you let me know and hold on to him for, 4 hours for me? That's not a fucking problem. But a federal law enforcement agency saying, hey, this guy broke into the country illegally, has committed crimes in our country. He's not a U.S. citizen. We would like to come collect him and deal with him based on our laws, which honestly, I don't want to say that he should be, that every single international, person that comes over here illegally should be, confined to Gitmo or be waterboarded. But I'm sorry, if you're not a U.S. citizen, you're actually not afforded constitutional rights, because those are provided for U.S. citizens. Which
there lies the argument that's going on right now.
That's a whole other fucking topic. I'm sorry, if you're not a U.S. citizen, because you know what? Okay, let me stick to my first point. The fact of the matter is, you have all these law enforcement agencies, you have all these fucking governors, mayors, and sanctuary cities saying that we have no problem with withholding U.S. citizens for other law enforcement agencies, but an illegal immigrant, no, we're going to let them go as fast as we fucking can because we won't do your job for you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. How fucking retarded does that sound? So you do the job of some podunk deputy, and I'm not trying to make light of the small county sheriff, but the fact of the matter is, you're essentially stating that you'll do their job for them, but you won't do the job for somebody else. I'm sorry, how is that not profiling? How is that not bias? How is that not... You just pick your fucking acronym.
Yeah, but I
right?
mean, it goes down
And
to
continue
what other
that, this whole fucking thing about an illegal immigrant. Well, they have no, they fucking don't. I am sorry. I am so fucking tired.
Going to Mexico, you're not going to get the same rights that
coming
Mexicans
over here.
get.
I am so fucking tired of people coming over here and then burning the U.S. flag while flying a foreign flag and then saying, well, I've got U.S. constitutional rights. I have the constitutional right to free speech. I have the constitutional right to this. You know, you're saying that you're renouncing the United States and you're supporting a foreign government. Well, yes, that California needs to go back to Mexico. That's my constitutional... No, fuckhead, it's goddamn not. That's actually that's an act of terrorism, tyranny, and just pick your acronym for this.
Subversion.
You're a fuckhead. It's fucking bullshit. I'm sorry, if you're going to stomp on my flag while flying a foreign nation's flag and then tell me that you have the constitutional right underneath my U.S. Constitution, which I subscribe to, I'm going to beat your ass in the fucking ground. And that's all there is fucking to it. And then you'd better find enough jurors that agreed with your point of view to convict my ass. You better believe I'm not getting a fucking plea deal. I'm not pleading out. I'm going all the way to fucking trial, and I'm making sure everybody's goddamn
This
there.
one made me and my dad laugh. You have Antifa. You know, they're bitching about Trump. And they're
Antifa?
Yeah.
You mean the anti-fascists that use all the fascist tactics?
Right. But if you
joke.
look, a lot of them have the Russian sickle and openly admit they're communists.
Yeah.
But wait a minute, you're pissed at Trump saying he colluded with Russia, and you're bitching about it, but you're wearing a goddamn sickle and admitting you're a communist. How can you bitch?
I didn't actually think of that angle.
Holy shit, is that contradicting itself? I mean, I don't think... I'm so sick of it, and you're starting to see even the news people admitting that it's getting to be bullshit, this Russia, because there's been several studies, and nobody... Well, I don't want to say nobody, but a majority, and I mean a majority of the people do not give a rat's ass. They don't buy into this Russia bullshit. They see it as a political ploy. And the only ones that care about it are MSNBC, CNN, Washington Post, New York Times. You know, people are getting tired of this shit. I want to see our government work together. You don't like what Trump's putting forth? Counter it. He said he's willing to work. Counter it. You don't want him to do away with Obamacare? Put a goddamn bill that makes Obamacare better, that fixes it.
Honestly, that's kind of what's pissing me off. I mean, like, you know, he made the statement today, and everybody's all over him. And honestly, I can understand why a lot of people are jumping all over him. He made the statement, well, it was either end of the day yesterday or today, about
letting Obamacare fail?
Just let it fail, and we'll see where the chips lie.
You don't want to help him fix it?
The thing is, look, I mean, I understand where he's coming from with that. He's frustrated. He's pissed off. He's really... Nobody wants to work with him on this. That's evident. I mean, that should be fucking obvious to everybody on both sides of the aisle. Because the fact of the matter is, he literally put in place a put up or shut up, fish or cut bait. The entire Republican Party was saying repeal and replace, repeal and replace, repeal and replace. Yet when it actually came time to do it, they voted against it because they didn't like parts of it, because they didn't like this, because they didn't like that. I get that. You know what? It may not have been workable. I mean, there are parts of the ACA that I did agree with. Pre-existing conditions actually being amongst one of the top ones, because I do have personal experience with insurance companies that would literally drop your coverage and then pick you up a month later, but then say, oh, you have cancer? well, that's a pre-existing condition, so we don't have to cover it. I mean, there was some good in it, but there was also a lot of bad in it.
Yeah, but that's my point. Come to the table. And they refuse to come to the table, and they can't get it replaced. They can't get it repealed without the Democrats stepping up. So what is he supposed to do? You know what? Hey, let it fail.
That's the problem. And the thing is, the Republicans were literally, he put them in the position of put up or shut up. And they
that's why there's a vote next week.
We're not going to do anything. And so he said, okay, fine, then fucking let it fail. I'm sitting here. I'm waiting for it. I've got a pen in hand. Which, I'm sorry, that sounded a little similar to I have a pen and a phone, and I just chuckled when I heard that on the.
I was getting ready to say that too. All right, you got to wrap it up.
All right, but in any case, you know what? He's ready to deal with it, and they don't want to. It's the same old. It's the same old fucking bureaucracy down there in D.C. It's all about themselves, and I'm fucking tired of it.
Well, that's the thing.
We got a new president in that has a different agenda. We need to get the rest of them fucking out of there, and we need to get fresh blood.
Yeah,
across the board, both sides.
Start primarying some of these goddamn Republicans. Get them the hell out of there. Get some fresh blood in there.
And Democrats, honestly, both sides.
Everybody,
we need both sides.
Get some new ones.
We need to. He said it. And I'm going to reinforce it. We need to drain the fucking swamp.
Yep. But the thing is, the swamp's kicking back.
That's it.
The swamp
is
kicking
my ending
back.
comment.
So, all right, let me get going. Thank you for calling in.
Anytime, brother.
All right. You have a great night, Crash. All right, everybody.
You do the same. Have a great night, America. Talk to y'all later.
Coming up next, the top of the hour, is going to be the Sackheads radio show. Sackhead Clint, Sackhead Sean with BZ coming to you live from Freedom Fest, the Paris Resort Hotel in Las Vegas. Lucky sons of a guns they are. They've gotten some great interviews. They're sitting on panels. Highly jealous. That's all I can say, guys. Highly jealous. They're going to be coming to you guys in like 2 minutes. I'll be back tomorrow from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. Have a great night. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.